Hey guys, Scott Ludwig with Kinetic Fitness, part 2 of your foam rolling videos. The last time we did between the ankle and the knee, we did the calves, lower calf, upper calf, did a little bit on the shin. So we're just going to continue up the body, and now we're going to go between the knee and the hip. Primarily we're going to work on the quads in front. There's a little area in the inside lower portion of the quad called the VMO. When that's tight, we have a lot of knee problems. And then the infamous IT band. A lot of runners have problems with that. And keeping the tension out of that with the foam roller is a great way to be able to keep on training, especially if you're running and doing the circuits here at Kinetic. And then lastly, we'll touch quickly upon some hamstrings, but it doesn't really apply as much as the other muscle groups though. So as far as positioning goes, if we were to start out with just the quads right in front, I'm going to slide the foam roller, even if I only had a half one, just in front of the leg that I intend to work. And now I'm going to start right on that hip bone, really high up on the hip. It's where I want to place the foam roller or place the hip on it. And now I'm going to come off that bony portion of the pelvis and onto the quads itself, the front of the thigh. And usually there's not a lot, too much right here, sometimes right off the pelvis. But I'm just going to, as usual, just look for those higher numbers. You know, so for 0, I have no pain at all. 5, extremely painful. I want to find those higher numbers, and I want to stay on those about 10 or 15 seconds a piece. So right here I've got a pretty low number, and then as I roll just a few inches down my leg, I'm now in like a 3 or a 4, and it's getting a lot more painful, getting into like a 4, 4.5. And I'm going to attempt to relax and just let my leg kind of mold over the foam roller, and that's going to start breaking up that collagen and breaking up that tension there. As usual, we're going to work our way down inch by inch. I don't want to go too quickly, and just looking for those spots. If I find another hot spot, I'm going to spend 10 or 15 seconds on it, move on to the next one. You don't so much need to knead up and down on it. Sometimes that can aggravate it. We have a couple instances where it helps, but generally speaking, you just want to find a spot, hang out on 10-15 seconds, and move on to the next one. I do want to stay off the knee itself. So I'm going to go from the hip bone, which is no problem, to just above the kneecap. That's as low as I'm going to go. So now that VMO, and really even the whole entire inner thigh, we can work on when it comes to relieving some tension there. So I'm going to angle the foam roller in reference to my body. If I'm straight ahead, the foam roller's on an angle. And I'm going to place my kind of inner thigh right inside that knee. I'm not on the kneecap itself, but I'm pretty low on the quad on the inside. And now I'm going to look for some spots. And usually if you have some tension here, 2 or 3 inches in, and that starts to get really smart really quickly. So once I have some tension there, I can raise up that foot a little bit and kind of change the angle of my thigh. And you'll see, like when I get that heel higher, boy, I mean that's like a 4 or a 5 right there. I'm going to hang out 10 or 15 seconds, move on to the inner thigh, up into the groin a little bit. If I have any tension there, same rule, 10 or 15 seconds. That's going to cover my quad, my inner thigh. I'm going to spend some time right on there. Again, that's called the VMO, which has a lot to do with some knee pain if there's tension. All right, so now an area of the body that a lot of people have issue with, and that's that IT band. So from the outside of your hip to the outside of the knee is a band that runs between the quadriceps and the hamstrings, and it can cause a lot of problems, particularly people running. It can happen from lunges and squats, but people who are jogging in addition to are definitely plagued with this at times, and it starts to hurt at the hip or it can hurt at the knee. And with that one, we want to be on the side of the pelvis. That bottom leg is straight, your top leg can be bent and over top. And now, depending on how much sensitivity I have in that IT band, I can push off the floor a little bit, like with this foot and this hand, because for some, it is really, really sensitive at times. Other than that, as I'm rolling down, I'm just looking for those spots, 0, 0, 0, quickly into a 3, 4, 5, and you get these hot spots. And now I want to hang out once again, 10 or 15 seconds. I'm going to work my way from the hip down to the knee. And if you have the time, there's not really too much of it. You could spend a half hour watching a television show and foam rolling the whole time and knocking out those tight areas. It really makes a big deal for keeping some knee pain away, some foot pain away in the case of the calf in the last one, and just keeping you training hard and keeping you injury free. So stay tuned. We're going to have another segment working again up the body. We'll go between the hips and the shoulders next time. Hope you guys got something out of it.